I love when you can use illustrations. Jesus spoke in parables, which is very incredible, especially for those that could understand his parables. We speak in a lot of illustrations today. So I was in a conversation last night with someone that was sharing with me something that they had seen. This man's story of how he was, there were these 70-year-old women, and then there was this man, and they were in a class on how to break boards. You see people that can, break a stack of bricks. They can punch through a stack of bricks. Some guys use their elbows. They were this particular time they were at a class learning to break boards. And this guy's around these women, and there were some 70-year-old women in there, and these 70-year-old women are punching right through these boards. But he would hit the board and nothing would happen. And then he would try again and nothing would happen. It was super embarrassing for him. Finally, the instructor tells him, do not focus on the obstacle. Focus on the victory. Look through the obstacle and see the victory. See your hand going through that board. Don't look at the board. The board is the obstacle. Look at the victory, the outcome of going through there. And when he focused on the victory, that's when he was able to break that board. Do you see how we can apply that in our lives today? A lot of us are focusing on the problem. The enemy puts up these roadblocks. The enemy puts up lots of fear. The enemy has people working for him. He has things that are working for him. Right? It comes from the enemy. And some of us are just so focused on that, we forget about the victory. And if you go into God's word, you can see the victory. I'll give you a for instance. There are weapons that are formed against you. Those weapons can come in many forms. They can come at the fear of losing your job. For whatever reasons, your job might be threatened today, as many people's jobs are threatened today if they do not compromise their belief. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't compromise, your job is threatened. They want you to compromise. And they even say that if you don't compromise, you do not care about other people's lives. They call you selfish, right? If you side with a certain side today, politically speaking, they call you a racist. They use all these weapons against you. There are also things that are man-made. Let me ask you this. If men can make medicines that fight certain things, like let's say a virus, cannot also men cause and make viruses? If they are working in harmony with the enemy, they most certainly can make viruses. For instance, in Greek, we got this word sorcerers and sorceries. These sorcerers that use their sorceries. Both words for sorcerer. You know what a sorcerer is? They're magic practicers. And what are their sorceries? In Greek, it's pharmakeia. That's where in English we get the word pharmaceuticals. Pharmakeia. They use pharmaceuticals, or what we might say today, medicines. And it's called their sorceries. Now, that's not to say that all pharmakeia is evil, spells, sorceries. But if there is pharmakeia that is made to help you battle something that they created in the first place, that's called order out of chaos. Meaning, let's create the chaos, let's create the problem, and then we will create the solution, or we will make order out of chaos. Do you understand that? That's like a tire store having a road in front of them, and people passing by the tire store never stopping to get tires because they don't need them. So the tire store, they hire a bunch of dudes out there. Let's go out in the street at night when there's hardly any traffic going by and dig some potholes in the street, so that when cars hit the potholes, they'll pop their tires. And when, as soon as they pop their tires, they'll notice there's a tire store right by them. Oh, look at that. How convenient. A tire store. See, the tire store owner created the problem in the first place, right? Let's make potholes and blow up your tires. And then the tire store owner creates the solution. Look at, we have the solution for you. We have tires. So many people, Revelation talks about, that will be fooled, deceived by these men's sorceries. Isn't that interesting? They will be fooled and deceived by these men's pharmakeia. Why do you think they're going to be fooled by it? First, the men have to create fear into you so that you will take their pharmakeia, so that you will take their pharmaceuticals. They have to create the fear, and they do it through the work of the enemy. In fact, these men that are sorcerers or pharmakeia, you know, it's even a word, pharmacist in there. So these sorcerers says that they are worshipers of demons. Now, I'm not saying all pharmacists are worshipers of demons. Don't get me wrong. I have friends that are pharmacists, okay? I know a lot of people that are. But the ones that are working in harmony with the enemy, they are doing the will of the enemy. See, the enemy has his workers. There's fallen angels that he's taken with them, and then there's demons. And these men worship demons. They follow demons. They submit and obey the demons. Do you understand that? So they create the problems that the demons tell them to, and then they also create the solutions that the demons tell them to. And using fear as a weapon, people will submit, and they'll take just about whatever there is to come, even when it comes to the mark of the beast, which is coming, according to the book of Revelation. Anyway, so what do we do as believers? Do we focus on the problem, or do we actually see through that and see the victory? See, Isaiah 54:17, there are weapons that are formed against you. The weapon, there you go. That is the problem. Are you focused on it? Are you focused on that obstacle? Because if you are, you'll be like that guy. You'll hit the board and nothing will happen. And then you'll wonder, how come these 70-year-old people are hitting the board and things are happening? Is it their physical strength that is getting them by? Is it the power of their own that's getting them by? Has nothing to do with physical strength, you guys. Do you understand that? And when this guy realized it has nothing to do with physically punching a board, it has to do with focusing on the victory. And that's when he went through it. And that's when you'll go through it too, you guys. You got to focus on the victory, because it says there's no weapon that is formed against you that shall succeed at accomplishing what it was formed to do against you. Do you understand that? It shall not prosper. It shall not succeed. We have the victory, and we have to stay focused on that victory. Do you understand that? Because we already won the fight. Just some of us aren't aware of it. All right, you guys, God bless you. I hope this has been uplifting for you, and I'll see you in the next video.